On December 20th, 2019, when I was enjoying my first winter holidays, suddenly I thought of flying to Mumbai for a birdwatching trip at Akshi Beach. I took an advice from one of my friend Ronit about my targeted species, and as per his advice, I made my mind to go solo for your last birdwatching trip. Very next morning on December 21st at 5:45 a.m., I catch my flight to Mumbai. I landed Mumbai after 7 long years. From Mumbai airport, I took a cab to Gateway of India, from where I had to catch a ferry to Mandwa Beach. For those who are planning to go Alibag or Akshi Beach from Gateway of India, there are three service providers PNP, Ajanta, and Mandal. The ferry will drop you till Mandwa Beach, and from Mandwa to Alibag, there is a free bus services from these service provider. I took PNP at 10 past 10 am and reached Mandwa Beach, then Alibag. As soon as I checked into the hotel, a pair of purple-rumped sunbirds welcomed me to Akshi, and after lunch, I with my gear was at Akshi Beach. Akshi Beach is one of the best beaches of Alibag, although I visited Indian Beach many times, but this was the very first time when I came for bird watching. At advised by my one of the friend Namita, I studied the tide timing, but I was so desperate to reach beach when tide was low. Feeling of getting into the beach with camera was completely different. I had to walk a lot to search my targeted species, and as I walked toward the water, I found my first lifer, Ruddy Turnstone. The two turnstone feeding along with terns and other waders. I spent quite a good time with them even when light was not favorable for photography. I looked at the mixed flock of small and big terns, and here come my another lifer, sandwich tern. Soon after, I noticed four bigger size waders, and they were great north. By end of the day, I collected only three lifers and came back to my hotel. I was sure that second day is going to be a long day at beach, and I have to search for my rest of the lifers. The moment I reached beach, a huge flock of waders, that's including turnstone, sandpipers, stink, plovers, and other waders, were at the shore. Although there was less crowded for morning walker, but getting a good shot of individual and identifying them was another challenge. I set my camera with tripod and started filming the flock of waders. I noticed few of my lifers are in this flock. The advice of my friend works well. As soon as the tide came forward, the flock moved a bit towards me. I had never seen such a huge flock of waders in my life, but that's my moment. And from that moment, I was able to snatch another lifer, greater sand plover. Although I had seen lesser sand plover many times, and this is the first time for greater. The another lifer for me was curlew sandpiper, a sandpiper who eluded me in Delhi NCR for quite a long time, but a royal entry of the curlew made my day. I enjoyed every bit of moment with curlew sandpiper. Another sandpiper for me as a lifer was Tirik sandpiper. A beautiful sandpiper has a long, upcurved bill than any other wader except for avocet. From the huge flock itself, I got another cute sandpiper, broad-billed sandpiper. This was my fourth lifer for the day and seventh of the trip. The activity of the morning was done, so I decided to have my brunch and reached nearby restaurant where I relaxed for quite a good time. The food at the restaurant was like a home with food. After relaxing for an hour, I thought of visiting beach again to cover rest of my species. Second half was full of terns and gulls, and first one in the series was gull-billed tern. Apart from the gull-billed tern, there was a huge flock of greater crested terns and lesser crested tern. The another lifer from the terns was common tern. The tern was sitting in a position where he forced me to lie down on the beach to take a ground shot. Apart from the bird, I saw a highly venomous hook-nosed sea snake, alive mollusk self, since there was not much bird activity as tide was low, so I decided to call it a day. On next day, when I was approaching to end of my trip, but starbird of the trip was yet to be found, that is Sanderling. I reached beach at 6:30 a.m. and the morning was the same like the previous one, with huge flock of waders, terns and gulls. My eyes were kept on searching for white color wader. Suddenly, a grey color heron landed in front of me. I was not expecting a western reef heron due to my focus on Sanderling, but the heron reminded me that was also in my wish list. Little later, a white morph of western reef heron also came. Both morph of heron kept me busy for an hour, and I was so amazed to see their feeding behavior. After they left, I again started searching for Sanderling and clicked images of other waders. After a long wait of approx 4 hours, finally I found my bird. A bird similar in size of a dunlin, but shorter and thick bill, shows a strong white wing bar in flight and run along the edges of the water in search of prey and probing their beaks into sand and soft soils. The bird was first described in 1764 by Peter Simon Pallas, a German naturalist. My target was complete as I got what I expected in this trip. Altogether, I saw 64 different species, including 13 live wire from the trip. Next day on December 24, I left the Akshi early as I have to travel a lot to catch my flight. I took the same route back and at airport I met with my old buddy Shankar Rao and shared some good moments of the trip. It was a successful and pleasant trip where I pursue my hobby as well as spend the quality time alone, met with some new friends Deepak, Subodh and Rupesh and met with an old friend. Thank you guys. I'll come back with another story very soon.